Welcome to the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show. I'm Jeff DiVeronica with Steve Bradley, wrapping up what's going to be the 19th year of this program real soon, Steve, and we get to talk to some champions this weekend, and we're real excited about that. Next group made school history, Steve.
Absolutely. This is our penultimate weekend on the program, and Webster Thomas, Jeff, 2 straight Section 5 baseball titles, and the interesting storyline.
Never been done
in their school history, but it wasn't the easiest season. They put it together at the end and really found a way to get it done. And I think that's what makes it interesting. Coaches talk all the time that you just need to click and come together as a team. And in baseball, one of those sports where you just get hot at the right time and special things can happen.
Class A1, I beg your pardon, A1 champions for the second straight year. Of course, last year they couldn't move on because of COVID. There was no state tournament. And they did lose on Saturday, 13-1. In the regionals to Hamburg, I believe.
Right.
And obviously not the best day, but the fact that they actually made it here is pretty remarkable. You talked about things coming together. This was a team that entered the postseason with a 9-11 record. The number 5 seed playing number 4 Canandaigua, which is usually a pretty tough out this time of the year, and they came out right away and beat them up in the first round of sectionals 9-1. So let's bring on first their coach, Kevin Neenan. Joins us now from a remote location out in the great outdoors. Coach, thanks for being on our program, and also joining us, James Bolton, the catcher, and Nate Zicari, one of the pitchers, the ace left-hander on the staff. And for full transparency's sake, he is my nephew, folks. He is my nephew.
And he can grow a better beard than
me. And he can grow a better beard than me, yes. We're never going to try to prove that ever, because my wife will throw me out of the house. But first off, Coach, congratulations. If I had told you a month ago this would have happened, what's the percentage here? 50%, coin flip, or did you thought these guys had it in the whole time?
Hey, it's interesting, because last year we had such a great run and we lost 10 seniors, but it was something we believed at the beginning of the season that we could do. I think, like I said, the regular season didn't quite go the way we anticipated a little bit. We had a lot of tough games, a lot of close games that we lost against some very good teams in Section 5. But once we got to the end of the season, you still believed in the kids, and we thought we had a really good shot at making a run. And like I said, these kids just put it together at the right time, and it was just fun to watch. Very happy for the kids, very proud of what they accomplished.
James, as the catcher, you're involved in every play. You might have the best view in the whole stadium. What came together for this team, James, during this postseason run?
I think that we just started playing together more as a team, and our pitching staff did a fantastic job. It was a pleasure to be able to catch them, especially Nate down the stretch. Really, really commanded his pitches well and took control of the game. I think that was pretty much the turning point for us, was just how well we played together down the stretch.
So I mentioned the first round game against Canandaigua. Nate, 12 strikeouts in that ball game. You pitched a 3-hitter through 6 innings. You beat Canandaigua 9-1 in the 4-5 game. Supposed to be a tough game. And then Nathan, you guys beat Churchville 8-5 in a wild game. And I want to talk about your pitching in just a little bit, because before we get to the Frontier Field game against Schrader. But Nate, Shane Talbot, a sophomore on your staff, gave you guys 8 innings, I believe, against Churchville Chili. How helpful was that during this postseason run to have a guy chew up that many innings for you? And how wild was that game where I think it was 2-2 going into extra innings, and you guys ended up winning 8-5?
Yeah, well, Shane, he's a very, very special talent. It was definitely very fun watching him grow as a pitcher this year. Definitely by the end of the year, he got his velocity up. I mean, I think I had maybe 2 or 3 more innings than him, but he had like 300 less pitches than me. It's a guy that goes out there, pitches strikes. Nothing really rattles him. He's very fun to watch. He's very, very good in these next couple of years, developing as a
Coach Neenan, going on the road to beat the number 1 seed. Is that when you started really believing this could be a team of destiny? Because that was a wild game, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Churchill had got us twice during the year, but it was one of those things we talked about coming into that game that we believed we could play with them, and the kids believed it. And like I said, when Shane came out and threw a game like that, we got out a couple tough jams early on and did a great job defensively that day. And once we got to extra innings, you could just see the kids just keep getting more confident that, hey, we can knock this team off. And when we did, yeah, that was definitely a thing that, we were looking forward to, a shot at the sectional title, obviously with our crosstown rival Schrader.
So, James, you get to play Schrader. at Frontier Field.
They had beaten them 12-0 before, Steve.
Schrader had.
Schrader crushed them.
So was there a motivational speech, or you went out and took a 4-0 lead, but going into that game, was maybe that 12-0 loss very helpful to your team to fire you up and give you a little bit extra motivation, even though you probably don't need it in a title game?
I would say so. I mean, Schrader's a great team. We played a lot of great teams this year, and we knew going in it was going to be a great game and that it was going to be a couple of really good teams facing off. I think that just together as a team, we knew that we had to take care of business, and that's exactly what we did.
Well, Nathan, I got to ask you, because I haven't talked to you since then. I think we just texted once. What's it like to take the mound at Frontier Field, Nathan?
Yeah, that was definitely very, very cool. It felt like I was playing on a turf mound. It wasn't, obviously not turf, but it was very, very. Just you could tell that's obviously a very well kept ballpark, and obviously the atmosphere was very intense. I think that game was probably the most fans I've ever seen at a baseball game, and felt cool. Because last year we didn't have a lot of people come out because it's at the same time as lacrosse was, and this year you could tell that we had the school behind us, and that was actually really, really cool.
Did you feel extra nervous? Was the heart pumping a little more? I mean, how did you feel?
I felt it. I didn't really feel nervous. I'm a little nervous at first, but once first inning, Josh hits a double. That's big. That obviously lifts a lot off my shoulder. We got a couple runs in the first. That was big, and I knew that as long as we were winning innings, we were going to win the game. So as long as my offense was scoring runs, I was fine, and we scored runs.
Well, it was a great game. I was there to see it. We got to take a quick break, but when we come back, I want to break down more of that game. We're going to talk about Garrett Wilson. We're going to mention Michael Salina because I got a scouting report that said you guys couldn't hit him, and then he comes into the game and boom, you score 3 runs. So we're going to talk about that. Let's take a quick break. You're watching the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show on Rock Sports Now.
There's a path to success full of challenges, rewards, inspiration, and strength. A strength that only the U.S. Army Reserve can give you. The skills and experiences you'll get will give you an advantage in your civilian life. Stay close to home, train to develop your strengths, and get on a path to success. Find out more at goarmy.com/reserve.
For more information, contact Syracuse Army Recruiting Center, 315-449-2830. There's strong. Then there's Army Strong, paid for by the U.S. Army.
Baby, sweet baby, oh baby,
Whether you come here as a 6th grader or a 9th grader, you have to spend your 4, 5, 6 years here and just get involved in so many different things. And then you're going to go out and set fire on the earth. When you get through McQuaid Jesuit, you're not going to fail when you get out in the world.
Tell you about my friends at Bath Fitter. 30 years across the country they've been doing this stuff. 20 plus years in Rochester. You don't have that kind of longevity without treating your customers right, doing great quality work. Please check them out online, bathfitter.com. Call the local office at 617-0007. It's Bath Fitter Rochester. Don't be a DIY diva and try to do it yourself. Don't screw it up. Let the pros do it. Remodel with confidence. Remodel with Bath Fitter. And please tell them you heard about it right here from Jeff DiVeronica on the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show. We're brought to you by Salvador's Pizza.
There are plenty of professional sports teams in Rochester, but there's also a lot of great high school sports action in each town in our area. When's the last time you checked out a high school game? Section 5 sports are about more than just wins and losses. They're about teaching teamwork, dedication, and discipline. So support the kids who play for your school. Get out and watch a high school game today. For more information, including schedules, rosters, and stats, visit section5.org. That's sectionv.org. Brought to you by the Monroe County League and Section 5.
in doing the work you do. If you're hurt, we'll help you through.
Don't be fooled. Video hearings are as critical as appearing in person.
Make sure your rights are protected.
Your employer has trained specialists on their side.
And the judges work for New York State.
The only person on your side
is the attorney at your side.
Connors and Ferris, your workers' comp attorneys.
Local McDonald's operators care about our local schools, teams, and student athletes. That's why they support the return of high school athletics in the Rochester area and around the state. See you before or after the big game at McDonald's. Welcome back, Section 5. Game on!
Welcome back to the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show. Jeff DiVeronica and Steve Bradley. We're talking some Webster Thomas baseball, a number 5 seed with a losing record going into sectionals that repeats as Section 5 Class A1 champion. Before we get back to the Titans, I want to tell you about my friends at Bath Fitter. Hey, they can remake your bathroom in one day. Who can do that? I can't do it. Steve, can you do it?
Not now, and I might need to.
It would be a disaster. I heard about that. You got to call Bath Fitter, Steve. Look at it, 617-0007. They got great financing options. There's a reason Bath Fitter Rochester is the #1 grossing outfit in the country for Bath Fitter. It's because they do great work. Give them a call. Check out their website. Tell them you heard about it right here on the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show. And thank you to all of our sponsors for supporting our program. You can see them all at connorsandferrisshow.com. All right, back to the Titans here on a Special Tees Skype hotline. All right, we were talking about that Frontier Field game. Not only are you playing in a championship game, you got your school rivals here. And you go up 4-0. And then I think the gas tank kind of got to empty, maybe, right? They get you for 4 runs in the 5th. Knock you around a bit, and then Garrett Wilson comes in. Coach, check me if I'm wrong, though. I think it was 1st and 3rd with 1 out, and it's now 4-4 after having a 4-0 lead. You bring in Garrett Wilson, and I look at Nate's dad. I go, actually, it was your brother, Brandon. I go, if they get out of here down 5-4, that's actually going to be fortunate. And I think he struck out the next 2 guys, Coach. And doing research. For this interview, I looked at all the postseason games, and I saw Garrett Wilson. How great of a postseason did that young man have? And did you think he's gonna fan these 2 guys?
Yeah, I mean, we were hoping. I mean, Nate did a great job. I think part of it he won't tell you, but he did get one of his at bats there. They call a foul ball, and I think he got hit right on on his throwing hand on the finger, and I think that kind of played a little role in his pitching there in that last inning there. But yeah, we got to the situation was 1st and 3rd and 1 out, and Garrett's a kid who can strike kids out, and we just thought that was our best option right there to see if we can't get a strikeout, because we wanted to do whatever he could. 1 run would have been all right. We were glad to get hold of it 4-4. Once we got out of that jam, I really thought the kids really believed right there, hey, we got a shot to do this, and they went out and scored 3 runs against Salina, who was a very good pitcher in the top of the next inning.
James, what was the confidence going in? The history with Mike Salina hadn't been great, but you got to believe, right? What was the talk in the dugout when you got out of that jam? You're the catcher. You squeeze the ball on those strikeouts, and then you come in the dugout. What do you say to get the team going?
Well, the ball's going to come over the plate regardless. Doesn't matter how fast it comes in. Doesn't matter who throws it. We've seen him before. He's a very good pitcher. A lot of respect for Mike Salina. And he had our number last time, and it was time for us we've all seen him now once before, to go in the box and try and put something together here.
I think the first batter lined out. Inning lined out. That whole rally started with 1 out, I believe.
Yep.
And maybe I think there was a walk. I think Mike Zicari may have gotten a walk in there, but I know that you guys Garrett had a 2, and I think it was Garrett Wilson who came in and shut the door, had a 2-run single in that inning that made it, and ended up being 7-6 or 7-4. And then here we go again. Schrader comes right back. It's 2 runs, and now it's pins and needles again. But you guys got it done, and you celebrated at Frontier Field. Nathan, I know you guys lost yesterday in the regionals, but feeling that moment at Frontier Field, how is that? Has it sunk in yet, what you guys did?
I feel like it's definitely sunk in a bit, but I mean, give me a couple more weeks, and I'll definitely realize how special that moment was, because it hasn't really clicked in yet that my high school baseball season's done. But once it does, I'm sure that win will be even better. But it was definitely night of, felt great. But at the same time, we knew our season wasn't done yet. So we knew that we still had to prepare for a game that we had 2 days later. So, yeah.
Coach Neenan, when you think of this team 10, 15 years down the road, what are you going to remember?
Just a special group of kids, from last year to this year, and these seniors got to do it 2 times back to back. James had mentioned it. We've been talking about all along the way they came together. I mean, one of the things that, we talked a little bit about Coach Chris Monroe, my assistant, and with the team, we talked the night we won it, that we thought that the day after our season ended, we decided to give the kids a little break from baseball and went out and played ultimate football and kickball that day in practice. And you could just see the energy and just the enthusiasm that the kids believe, hey, we got a new season. We're all 0-0. Let's go. And it was just fun group to watch, great group to coach. And it's a group that, down the road, I think this is a memory all the kids will remember.
6 returning players from the title team from last year. There were Nate Zicari and his brother Mike, and then the other set of twins on the team, Garrett Wilson and Colby Wilson. Colby, the first baseman. Garrett played third. James, of course, at catcher. And then Nate Hill, junior infielder, mostly at second base. So, James, what are your plans for the future, young man? You going to keep playing baseball?
Absolutely. I'm going to go to Cortland State in the fall and play baseball there.
Do you want to? Cortland State's like a teacher's college. You want to teach someday?
No, I'm majoring in sports management.
Okay, good enough. How about you, Nathan? What do you want to do someday?
Well, I'm going to go play baseball at Niagara County Community College. I'm going to major in criminal justice, and we'll see where that takes me.
And I'll keep talking to you about being a teacher down the road, young man. I'm trying to work on become a teacher one day because he's really great with kids. And kidding aside, I'm real proud of you, Nate, you and your brother. I know your whole family's lived and your brother played for the Thomas Titans. I know from the Warthogs up. It's been a real special thing for you and for the whole group. Coach, let me ask you about the feeder programs in this town, in the town of Webster, and the Warthogs and the other groups. How much does that help you guys as high school coaches on what they build in these young men?
Oh, yeah. All the programs we have, the Warthogs, the Wolves, and then we get all the way up to our Mod B teams, Mod A, JV, all the way up. All the coaches do a great job, and the kids, we really look forward to it. And then we do the camps in the summer, and we get to see them all again. And I think it's been a very fortunate thing in our town to have such a good thing to, we got two teams in the town, in Thomas and Schrader, and I think they do a great job. And it's been a plus for us when they get to us to kind of get them all together, because I know sometimes they play against, they play on the same team, and then they got to go against each other when it comes to high school a little bit.
Cool thing I saw a lot of good sportsmanship in that championship game too. I think Nate, when Nate came off the mound after getting pulled, one of the guys, Nate, do you remember there was a guy that from Schrader that came over and gave you like a handshake? Who was that?
Jack Cannon.
Yeah, that was a nice gesture.
Well, I mean, my wife works in the district, so they talk about one Webster. And, that's cool. It's always more fun when you compete and beat your brothers, your rivals, those you're closest to. So, but at the, when the game's over and you walk off the lines, you go back to how it was before.
Congratulations, Webster Thomas. I know you guys had lost in the regionals, but you had a great, the bats came alive against Sutherland. You took care of them, and you made it all the way to the state tournament. So, great season. Thanks for being on our show, Coach. And, guys, well done. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Jeff and Steve, for all you guys do for high school sports.
We appreciate that. And as we head to break, we appreciate the U.S. Army, Steve Bradley. This has been our U.S. Army segment, brought to you, of course, by the U.S. Army. A lot of great local recruiters. Make sure you connect with the Army folks. They can help pay for your college education. They get a lot of great incentives now for money if you get into the Army and how long you have to stay in the Army and get trained there. And there's also 150 different careers in the Army. If there's a job in the civilian life, that same job probably exists in the Army, so go find out about it right there with your local recruiters. That was fun. And on a personal note, it was really cool to see that come together for my nephew, because I knew they had a tough season. They were up and down, and we're putting it together. And then getting to watch it from afar, I didn't see him play. I think I saw him play one game at Irondequoit this year, and then not till Frontier Field. So.
Well, and it's a good message for everybody, right? All it takes is one day, one game to turn the ship around, and they did it.
I quote the great Jim Carrey when I say, "So you're saying there's a chance." For our producer, Joe Brott, and for Steve Bradley, my co-host, my name is Jeff DiVeronica. Thanks for watching us right here on Rock Sports Now, the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show.